Alright. Let's see where we spawn. One of the biggest things is learning all the PMC spawns. Okay, so we spawned here, right? So there's a PMC spawn down there in that corner. And then there's a PMC spawn over here in the bushes. And then there's a PMC spawn back over there by the buses, right? So now if I spawned in, obviously I wouldn't do this, but if I spawned in here, I would try to loot all this, right? So let's go back to where we spawned so we can start. I'd probably push down this way. But now the whole time you're pushing down this way, keep an eye on this door. Because the players, if they spawn there, there's a good chance they're going to run here. Right? But I would try to loot this whole area. Because there's good loot in this area. A lot of people, a lot of people sleep on it. Alright, so if you come down here, because you're looking for Sailwas and meds, right? Well, there's a med spawn in here. Now, I've never found Sailwas in here, but found morphines and stuff like that in there. I think even Vaselines and stuff, too. Very rare, but they are in there. Then I'd come down here, be careful, because like I said, there's a spawn there and there's a spawn over there. You don't want to, definitely take your time. And then in here, there's a armor kit spawn. You can get your sledgehammer spawns in here. So always check in here. I'm not sure if anything spawns in the back of this trunk, but we always open it. I don't know if anybody's ever found anything. But obviously make sure you check for players here. And there's obviously scavs spawn here. A lot of scavs can spawn here too. But you want to check here, because this is a med spawn. You can get your Sailwas in here. So you want to loot that bag. I'm not going to loot it because we're offline. And there's 2 bags in here. One spawns here. Obviously you see them. That's new to this patch. And if you want, really depends on how you want to go, but if you go over there on the ground right outside that building on the other side of that blue Connex, there's a random spawn. You can get your gas analyzers there, or it's just a random spawn. We found vodka, we found moonshine over there, sugars. There's a bag up there, possibly 2 bags now spawn up there, and then on the building below that building, there's a spawn in there, and then that bus back there, there's a key spawn for, I believe, Resort, obviously. I think it's Resort. I'm not sure the key number. I'd have to look it up. Maybe I'll look it up and I'll post it on I'll have it screen written on there for you guys. But then what I would normally do is I'd come across here. And this is how me and my buddies loot it. Like, normally if we're playing in a group, we'll all spread out and loot this whole area because there's good loot here. And check here. There's food spawn here, ammo spawn, little of everything, barter stuff. Now this is a newer spawn, and I've only ever found heavy bleach stuff, but right here on this box, there's another med spawn, so you might be able to find a Sailwa here. Not sure, haven't found one. And then inside this Connex over here, there's a coat, or this one here, there's a coat and 2 weapon crates. Sometimes, not all the time, but there's usually a weapon crate there, weapon crate, and then the coat. Always check that. Good spawns. Try not to run too much either, and always check your corners. Like, always, don't just come running around these corners like trying to race loot. Like, always make sure you check and clear your corners. Don't just run around them all willy-nilly. There's a dead scav in here. Stuff spawns on these shelves, so always check them. Spark plugs and what have you. Stuff you'll need for your hideout, especially early on. Then there's a med bag, there's a bag in here. Check that. There's a free spawn right here. Could be food, anything, barter items. And there's also a spawn in here, light bulbs and stuff spawn right here sitting on top of this. Always check that. Like I said, there's really good loot here. People sleep on it. A lot of people just run through here and don't loot it. Like, we come through here late what? Like, look, there's a spark plug, but there's a gun spawn. I found a SCAR in here. We found all kinds of guns. Good ammo. And there's another spawn here that a lot of people don't know about. It's right here. Stuff can spawn right here. All kinds of stuff. Found bronze lions there. And then what we would normally do from here, after this is looted, we'd push through here. Now, it's up to you. You could go big red if you want, right? See, there's a scav right there. Obviously, I whiffed. You don't whiff like... Not supposed to whiff like that, but, you know, it happens. Anyway. So, early wipe, I don't know if I'd even push Big Red, because you don't really need anything in there, but you can, because there's a weapon crate, and there could be a bag, and actually 2 weapon crates in there. Really up to you. I would probably skip it, and more focus on the baby blues. We call these baby blues. I don't know what everybody else calls them, but... call this baby blue, and we call that one other one over there baby blue too. Just what we call it, but... You know, and then you loot your filing cabinets, because you're going to need, most of the stuff you're going to need, you're going to pull out of filing cabinets, your barter stuff, and then there's another chance you might find a sale with here. You might find the morphines you need, because you need 4 morphines later on. Then if you want, you could loot that. And if you want, you could run into Big Red, because you got your scavs spawning here. Like, look, perfect example. I think this is the one, this one's already, is that the shotgun you need? Yeah, look, perfect. You need them shotguns right early on, so there you go. Scav spawn, you get your shotguns over here. If you want, you can push into here and loot it. Like I said, there's can be a weapon crate spawn there. Well, can't get in upstairs without the director's office key, so that's why sometimes we just skip it, because it's not worth the fight, because sometimes PM speed... Oh, that is true. There is a PMC spawn in this building. It does happen, so... But there's a weapon crate spawn there. With the change, there's a bag that can spawn here now. There's an open spawn right here on the floor. Could be anything. There's another bag that can spawn here, and there's a chance that random stuff can spawn. And then it's up to you. You could clear this. Up to you. Take your time. Loot it. My suggestion is, if your bag's already full from looting back there, you're by yourself, pretty much loot everything yourself, you got a full bag, I wouldn't loot this, but if you want to get greedy, that's up to you. It's your game. You make the choice. But if you're trying to survive, I wouldn't. There's the other baby blue. I would try to loot that if you could, just for the chance of your spark plugs, your flash drives. There's a weapon crate in there. There's 2 coats. You might get keys that you need. I guess I can run over and just show you real quick. Now watch out for scavs here. Obviously, it's risky, because you don't know what other PMCs could spawn here, and you could, you know, but take your time. Obviously, I'm not clearing corners and stuff like I should be, but be careful pushing this. Always make sure, you know, you come running up here. Don't just run straight into the building. Maybe take a peek, look in this window, take your time. And then, like I said, there's a bag here. There's a bag that spawns here, 2 coats, a weapon crate. You got your filing cabinets. And so, did that other bag spawn? Yeah, so. Then what I would do is, after we loot this, my favorite way to go is usually, sometimes we go around that way, but I've had many people camp in them bushes, like they get scared so they don't move out of spawn and they just sit there, because that used to be a player spawn. I don't know if it is anymore. I haven't spawned there in forever. But there's also a player spawn right here. You can spawn right in this spot too, so always be wary that this is another player spawn. So normally we would push through here. Alright, take your time. Look across for scavs. Don't just run across all willy-nilly and be like, I just need to get across. I got all this loot. I'm scared. If you don't want to cross this one, because it is a little risky, see, like, the scavs are there. So you may not want to run across this one, because it's a little more wide open. I would come along these train tracks, because those scavs will shoot at you, and push this way. You can either push through the wall that way and go through that hole. I would just run along here, personally. Because if you don't have something to shoot across and kill the scavs, don't risk trying to shoot them this far away with open sights if you're new to the game and get tore up by them, because they will hit you. If you're newer to the game and trying to learn, take your time, play smart. Don't try to take shots, like, because that's pretty far with open sights. I mean, you can do it. It's up to you. It's your, you know, your gameplay. But if you're trying to survive, I would come over here, take your time. Obviously, watch out for players, because early wipe, a lot of players are trying to get out of the extracts really fast. So they get their loot and they get out, and let's just, for sake, so there's the extract over here, the campfire. Let me just show you real quick, so you have an idea. and then I'm going to come back and start where I was just at. But I just want to show you. So right down there by that rock, right there where I'm aiming, there's a bush, and there's a campfire that comes up. Now, it's random. It's not guaranteed that it'll be there. So, but if it's not up, most people will loot dorms, and they'll come across. If that's not up, they're going to come across here, and they're going to try to get the road to customs back here in the corner of the map. And then, so what I would do is I'd probably push across here. Try to get as close to the scavs as you can, make it as easy as possible to kill them. But be very careful, because like I said, just be very careful. This is a high traffic area, and like I said, there might be players trying to get across to get out. A lot of players will just go to RUAF. Is this extract? I'll show you up here. If you want to get really greedy, and you're feeling it, there's 2 stashes. There's 2 stashes. There's one in this bush right here. Alright, a little ground stash. And then over here, might not be here, but there's another stash right here. But you see how I got across? Gav didn't see me. Got a nice little one-tappy on him. It's kind of why I'm playing with open sights. Just trying to play as if I was... Now, you know, when you start, you could have a scope. Most people, whether you're USAC, you have the M4, you can put your sight on there. It gives you a sight. And if you're a bear, there's an RPK that you can put a sight on too. Alright, so now this is our UAF. Now this is an extract right here. Now most people will try to take this because it's always open. It used to not be when I first started playing. It was a random extract, but now it's always open. So let me kind of give you a little bit of a view so you can see what's around, so you know what it looks like when you get here. Okay, so this is our UAF. That's your extract. This is always there's always scavs here. Not always, unless people kill them, but 90% of the time there's scavs here. And then there's scavs just on the other side of this wall. Like this whole road all the way across can have scavs on it, basically. Okay? Just always be careful coming through here, because the scavs will sit back here by the bushes. They'll be hard to see. And then there's a sniper scav that sits up there on that building, so be weary. Sometimes he's hard to see because he'll sit like right behind that tree. You can barely see him. If you have open sights, good luck. If he's up there, try to avoid him. But like scavs sometimes sit back here, so always just come around this corner and be very cautious. And players sit in this bush, right? Because here, so here's where the unknown key is, right here. What's the odds of that? So there's your unknown key. You should grab that if you find it. I personally would recommend, if you're going by here, just to grab it, keep it in your stash so you have it, because you never know where you're going to spawn, right? So when you get the quest, you don't want to have to go and hunt the key down. But it does only have one use. So if you die, when you say you go, you open the door, and you get the task item, but then you die, well, now you got to go back and get the key again. So maybe even pick up 2 if you go by before you get the quest, and grab 2 of them so you have them. You know, just grab a couple so you have them, just in case you might die. So now what I would do from here is, now you have a choice. Like I said, it's going to be risky because players are going to be trying to push across the map. What I would probably do is definitely like clear this way, clear across, do a quick little peek, but don't peek too long because people are going to be sitting in that window. Most likely early wipe, somebody's not going to be able to snipe you from there unless they're using a scope. But what I would do is I would just run across here, check that way, check there. Now there is a bag right here too that you could loot if you want. If you really want to play cautious, you can just run across to here. But the thing with it, if you run from here to there, you see, if you run from here, right? If you run from here, look how far you're exposed, right? You're exposed all the way through here, all the way into here. If they're sitting in that window, peeking, they're going to be able to shoot you the entire time you're running into there. So most of the time, if you're full coming from over there, I wouldn't even worry about that bag. Don't worry about that bag. You're trying to survive. You're not here. You're full of loot. You got stuff you need. If you want to get greedy, get greedy. That's on you. I'm trying to teach you how to survive. So what I would do is I'd check this way just to see. Check that way. Now you got the dumpster blocking this side. Now just focus on watching and make sure there's nothing over here. They can't shoot you from over there. Run this way. So you still got this hillside. They can't see you from over there. Just keep an eye here and always watch that door because there could be players in there. And then I would cut across here and then use this hillside because now you got this cover in case anybody's over there looking this way. And then move across here. And then be careful pushing into here because there could be players in here. Now, I don't run into players in here very often, but just swing it, be careful, take your time, clear it. Another place, you can loot this place. There's a water filter spawn here, hoses, corrugated hoses, you got your toolbox. Down here, you got a weapon spawn, weapons, sometimes money, dollar bills spawn there, other weapon parts, and then there's barter items like wrenches, screwdrivers, shit like that. Stuff like that spawns in there. Now from here what I would do is I would take the trench. I'll open this door, peek it out, make sure there's nothing, take your time, make sure Sniper Scav's not up there. If he is, you can try to take him out. If you don't feel comfortable, just let him be. Hopefully he won't shoot at you. And then what I would do is I'd come running out of here. And I'm going to take this trench. You're safe down in here. You can listen. See if you hear anything in crack house. Take your time. Get your stamina up. Play it nice and easy. Just listen, hang out, get your stand back. Check these heavy guns, make sure there's no scavs on them. Always peek and make sure. Give it a quick look. Most likely, if somebody's in crack, you can hear them from here. So just, you know, just take your time. And then what I would do, now this, see now, and what I'm trying to explain is like, I'm full. I'm trying to get out. I'm not worried about loot. We got enough stuff. We need to survive. It's early wipe. Everything in our backpack, we need. Everything. Whether it's weapon parts, whatever it is, you need that for either money, maybe gunsmith task, you never know, barter items. So always just, once you fill your bag up, early wipe, just try to get out, man. Don't get greedy. Be like, oh, there's a bag there, there's a bag there. If it's in a safe spot and you need to, check it. But if not, don't worry about looting anything else. Just have a path, have a way to go, get out, and move on. Like, yes, there is sale with spawns in here. You want to check it, go for it. But if you're already full and everything, and you've already came all the way across the map. Early wipe, I'm going to tell you right now, this is already looted. It may not be, but I guarantee you it's already looted. Don't even waste your time. You're not going to get your sale. Well, everybody's looking for sales. It's not going to be there. Just focus on getting out. If you want to get greedy, totally on you. Like, there's scavs spawn here too. That's what I forgot to say. There's also scavs here. They'll linger around out here in the middle. And also too, see like that scav there? And they also spawn in they also spawn inside the building. If you want to push it to go try and get scav kills, go for it. If you want to push it, go for scav kills, go for it. So now what I would do normally is if I come up out of this ravine and I know that's clear, I'll come up and I'll peek this, make sure there's nothing. I'll check the guns again, at least this gun. Alright, make sure there's nothing on it. Peek this corner, because there's stashes over here, and I've killed quite a few players just sitting right here. So always check it real quick, and then just move. Don't waste any time, just get moving. Run right for the shitters. Don't waste any time, just get behind the shitters. And keep looking that way, check the railroad tracks. Make sure you don't see any heads sticking up. Now you take your time, sit, get your stand back, listen, and just watch this. And just keep an eye on this, make sure there's nobody, take your time, there's no reason to rush. You have no reason to rush if you got plenty of time. Peek this, make sure there's no scavs up there. There's a stash right here. Loot it if you want. It's up to you, your call. You feel comfortable, you don't got much loot maybe, or you want to just loot it to see what's in it, loot it. That dead scav, I wouldn't loot it. Never do. Not worth it in my opinion. That scav back there, loot them. Found graphics cards on them before. This stash right here, check it. Probably be looted already, but you never know. And then take your time through here. This can be a very heavy area. I've got early wipe. I got into 3 big fights, or 2 big fights right here. Killed 3 guys and then 2 guys early this way. So it can be a very heavily trafficked area. Now what I would do is I'd look. If you don't see green smoke, now you make a choice. This is up to you. You can push in there and clear out the scavs if there is any. There's a good chance there's going to be scavs in there, so it's up to you. If you want to push it, you're trying to survive. It's up to you. Personally, if it was me, early what, I'd probably go for the scav kills, but I feel more comfortable. I've been playing. But if you're new, you don't want to risk dying, getting one tap by some buckshot. I would just run across here. See, there's no green smoke. Okay. Now I'm going to go this way. You hear the scavs over there? Okay, I know there's scavs in there. Well, I don't want to fight that because I'm trying to survive. Yeah, I need my scav kills, but I'm full of loot. If you do want to try and fight the scavs, try to peek over this. See, there he is. Take your shots. Get your scav kill if you want. If you miss, he's probably going to run inside the building anyway. So then what I would do is if you miss, and you don't want to keep fighting, so now you stop here. I would stop here and listen. What you want to do is listen and make sure there's nothing on the other side of this. Give it a few seconds. Okay, I don't hear nothing. Sounds clear. Make your run across. Do a quick peek over. Okay, I don't see nothing. I still don't hear nothing. Alright, I'm going to jump up here. Don't hear nothing. It's all good. Alright. Just be careful. Now this is power building. So now that old gas isn't up. No. Well, since I'm here, I might as well just show you the unknown key quest. So what I would do if I had the unknown key quest and I got here, I'll have to look up the name of the quest. I'm not sure what it is. But there's the building you need to get into. So we only got 16 minutes left. Most likely, there's probably not many players left. I would just risk it and run out here. Watch out for scavs. And watch out, there could be players in this building, but most likely, with 16 minutes left, there's no players in there. But there could be. Watch out for your scavs out here. They spawn out here. They could be anywhere. Come over here. You unlock your door. Right here, under this thing, there's going to be a little bolt, like a little, I don't know, a little block thing you pick up. Grab that. Then what I would do from here is I would run. You could run into this building if you want to just be safe. Clear it. Could be scavs in here, players. Plus, if you want, you can just check to see if it's been looted. It probably will have been looted, but there's a weapon crate spawn there, weapon crate spawn there, bunch of free loot back here you can pick up. There's sometimes a coat that hangs here. There's like no loot here, but there's usually loot on them shelves, so definitely worth checking. Another spot a lot of people don't know about is there's a food spawn here. I've found survival kits, food, all kinds of stuff there, so always check that. And if you come across here, there's 2 weapon boxes. You can loot those. Now what I would do from here, obviously just be careful. Always check. It's whole here. Keep an eye out for scavs. Sniper scav spawns up there, so just be leery. He'll probably be dead by this point. There's a stash here you can loot. Now you got your quest. Be careful, scavs will be in these bushes sometimes. It's very rare, but they do wander across. Keep an eye on that building there. But this is an extract right here. I think this is ZB12. I'm not sure. I'll have to make sure of that. I don't want to steer you guys. Actually, I can look. Yeah, it's ZB12, I believe, because I think ZB11... I'll have to check that for you, but... This is an extract here. The light will be on. If the light's on, it lights up this whole area. So if that light is on, you know this extract stuff. Run down in here. But it's only if the light's on. But if the light's not on and you want to, there is a dead scav here and a grenade box you can loot. And then sometimes a grenade box spawns in there with the new loot dynamic. I found some good loot on the scav. I usually always check them. I found slicks, I found graphics cards, I found good stuff on them. Always check them. Now, if this extract's not up, what I would normally do, I'd come through here. I wouldn't go into that building. There's no need to, unless you want to, because at this point you're full. You're just trying to get out. You know. So I would just come along this wall. Obviously, just make sure you check in there. Keep listening. Always listen. Make sure you got your headphones on and take your time. Whatever you do, whether you're running naked or not, always just try to make sure you got headphones on. It'll help out a ton. And I would just take my time along here. I'm not going to do it for... And then what I would do is I normally, you check this corner. Obviously make sure there's nothing, because there's scavs can spawn down here. Be leery of the windows, player scavs. But I would run through here. I usually run up here, and then I get down in here. Come along here most of the time. If you want to, you can check. I call that porn. A lot of people call it streamer building, but I just call it porn because it looks like a porn studio. But I would usually stay along here so they can't see you from the windows, and then I would run from here. And then get into this building. If you don't want to go into the building and risk it, you can run and go around back. But if you go around back and anybody's down there, you're all wide open. There's nowhere to hide here. So I'd rather take the building, right? You got more cover in here. If you get into a fight, you got places to hide out there, you got nothing. They get you pinned down, you're screwed. So just take your time through here. Be careful because there's a weapon box right back here. There's a weapon crate right there. So player scav could be up there looting it. Maybe here you come in. There's a weapon crate up there. You can see the top of it. They could be up there looting that, and if they're being quiet, you'd never hear them. Oh, also, too, there's a med spawn in here, and I think factory key still spawns in there, so always check that, even if you're just walking through. I wouldn't even worry about looting. I mean, you can check this. This is probably already going to be looted early on, but feel free to loot it if you want to check it, because you're almost out anyway. We call this filter because there's you find a lot of water filters in there, so it just became, that's what stuck to us. But then I would just sneak across here, be cautious, clear it if you want, close the door. But you can see through these windows, so I would come down here, stay low. But I wouldn't take my time here, I would just get across as fast as you can. Watch this tree. There is, people that sit in that tree. I haven't ran into it yet, but... And then here you go. There's a stash over there. You can check it if you want. Right by that bush. That's where I'm aiming there. And then this is the final extract, the farthest one on the map. You just walk in here and come to the back here, and you're out. And that's how I would move across from that spot. Now,